Imagine two powerful, successful men, one a Hollywood legend, the other a billionaire entrepreneur, teaming up to deliver a brutal, unfiltered reality check to a man who built his brand on illusion. George Clooney and Mark Cuban just did the unthinkable, taking off the gloves and going straight for Donald Trump's ego. It wasn't just business, it wasn't just politics. It was a takedown so sharp, so precise, that even Trump's infamous spray tan probably paled in comparison. Clooney, the charming, silver-haired actor who could sell you a cup of coffee and make it sound like the meaning of life, held nothing back. He knew Trump before the political circus, back when he was just another guy chasing women at bars, obsessed with the next conquest. And now, here was Trump, hailed by a whole movement as some kind of savior, something Clooney found utterly laughable. He couldn't believe people actually saw Trump as a leader when, in reality, he was a man who had spent his life using others, cutting corners, and avoiding responsibility. Then there's Cuban, sharp, methodical, and allergic to nonsense. A self-made billionaire who built his empire from scratch, unlike Trump, who inherited wealth and spent decades pretending to be a business genius while leaving a trail of bankruptcies and lawsuits behind him. Cuban laid it all out in brutal detail. Trump's history of stiffing contractors, his endless lawsuits, his reputation for shady business dealings. It wasn't some secret. Everyone in the business world knew it. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank even had to sue him just to get paid what she was owed. What kind of businessman operates like that? According to Cuban, one who never really learned how to succeed on his own. Trump was born into wealth, given every advantage, yet somehow still managed to fail time and time again. Cuban didn't just criticize. He broke Trump down with the cold, hard facts. The man has never truly built anything successful without relying on others to bail him out. But let's talk about Trump's reaction. Because if there's one thing more predictable than his bad spray tan, it's how he spirals the moment someone with actual credibility calls him out. He lashed out, called Clooney a fake movie actor, dismissed Cuban as a weak businessman, and of course, threw in some absurd personal insults that had nothing to do with anything. Classic Trump. When faced with reality, he panics, deflects, and hopes his followers don't notice the cracks in his golden facade. Clooney, unfazed, brushed him off like a bad script, while Cuban simply doubled down with more receipts. Cuban knows real business, real leadership, real success. He doesn't need to slap his name on buildings or fake universities to prove his worth. He built something sustainable, something real, something Trump has never managed to do without cutting corners or exploiting loopholes. And that's the real reason Trump's reaction was so telling. Clooney and Cuban weren't ranting. They weren't desperately grasping for attention. They calmly, confidently dismantled the myth of Trump with facts and first-hand experience. Meanwhile, Trump did what he always does, yelled into the void, hoping someone, anyone, would still take him seriously. But the truth is, the illusion is cracking, and even his most loyal supporters are starting to see it. Clooney and Cuban didn't just criticize Trump, they exposed him. They ridiculed him, and they did it with the effortless confidence of men who actually know what they're talking about. Because when you put someone like Mark Cuban next to Trump, the difference isn't just obvious, it's undeniable. Before we dive into this explosive takedown, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more hard-hitting content. Now let's get into it.